We'll make some room for this thing right here.
As the women won the Summit League title this past weekend, becoming the first UND team since joining the league in any sport to win the title. Jaden Keeler won the women's race and set a new Summit League meet record, and the men got the runner-up, which is the best finish they've had since joining the league. We'll begin with the opening statement from Coach, and then open it up for questions.
Yeah, as Tyler said, an absolutely amazing weekend for the program. We've been talking about a moment like this since we got here 4 years ago, and it was never a question of if, it was always a question of when. And, we would have liked to have won last year or the year prior, but the first one feels good. The guys ran awesome. I don't think they could have run any tougher or any better. They, get in second place. We knew that we had a chance to win. We missed SDSU by about 8 points, which is about a place and a half for each scorer. And maybe a couple things could have changed a little bit, but we knew we were going to have to catch SDSU maybe on an off day. But they ran so tough and so hard, and I'm incredibly proud of them. And then, the girls, they crushed it. We kind of had an idea that on paper we were supposed to win, but you got to go out there and do it. And Jaden, she told all the girls back in May after the track season was over that she didn't care about any individual accolades this year. She just wanted to. It was funny. She told all the girls, she's like, I want to be standing on that podium with the confetti with you guys. And so she got the kind of the idea in everybody's head last May, and we brought in some amazing newcomers this year that really helped the group. Shawea Johnson from Texas A&M, Marie Jorgensen from Denmark, freshman. She was actually the freshman runner of the year, first freshman at the championships. And then Katie Rogers from Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. Those three girls, they were our 2, 3, 4. And then our fifth, our final scorer, Ellie Sundag, who's been with us for 4 years. Her parents were actually on the team here. Her mom is part of one of the Hall of Fame teams that got second place at the NCAA championships in the 90s. And so she had the race of her life, was our fifth and final scorer, and just missed being all conference by a spot. And so it's just really exciting to kind of see this come to fruition. And the girls were very excited, and just proud of this team, proud of this program.
Well, Coach, can you tell us a little bit about the Jaden Keeler's path through UND? If I recall, she might have committed around like COVID time.
Yep.
And at a point in the program there was a lot of uncertainty. What do you recall about her kind of sticking with it and leading the path from a very early stage?
Yeah, so her story is actually pretty incredible in terms of that. She never got to visit any schools because of the pandemic. So, she did all her stuff via Zoom. And she's actually the only person on the team right now that I didn't recruit. And when she came in, there was a change in the coaching staff. So actually, Kyle Doporowski, the assistant athletic director, was the cross-country coach that semester because there wasn't a cross-country coach. And so for her to stick through that and through those uncertainties of like, I don't even know who our cross-country coach is going to be. And then, she's had a lot of success over the last year or so, and sometimes you see when you see that, you see kids start to think, maybe I have an opportunity to go somewhere else, and I don't think that ever crossed her mind. She wanted to stick with it here. She believes in what we're trying to do as a coaching staff, and she believes that we're going to help her get to where she wants to be. And she also wanted to win a conference championship with this group, with this team at UND, and it was very special for her.
It feels like when your staff came in, that the university also, really went all in on the cross-country side of things. When you look at the big picture of resources and how that might play in track and field as well, how important has it been for maybe the direction of cross-country and what UND put into place here?
Yeah. I mean, it starts with the administration. When Kyle brought us in, his goal was to win cross-country, and that's what he told us. And so Coach Fahrenkamp, the director of track and field and cross, he helped us allocate the resources in a way where we could be very successful in cross country, and then also we want to win track. So we're not done here, but then also the investment from the university to the amazing Fritz Pollard Athletic Center and all the new additions, the brand new outdoor track, the brand new weight room, the brand new locker room, that's all right there, and our offices, that's all connected. So just just seeing all of that, and it's important to the university, and that they want to win, and they're going to help us in any way that they can and support us. It's awesome.
Coach, a lot of us saw that video, of Jaden when she's running down the final stretch. What emotion was going through your mind when you saw that?
For her, it's interesting because like I kind of we knew she was going to win. Like something catastrophic would have had to have happened for her to not win. So it's just like, do your job, right? That's kind of what we've been talking about. So do your job. But I was more excited that we were in a position to win as a team. So coming down the home stretch, I told all the girls, I said, if you finish, we win. Just finish and we win. And I remember telling Jaden that, and she looked at me and she just had a big smile on her face, like she knew all of the girls, they had a big smile on their face, and they knew if they just crossed the line and kind of stayed where they were at, we were going to win the championship. And so it's good to see. I'm more excited for her and how she led this team, and not necessarily the individual title, but how she helped lead this team and get them in the right mental state to go out there and suffer as a group and win a championship.
A couple of months ago, I remember asking you about, it's not just an individual sports, that, team aspect. For you as a coach, how proud are you to see that they all bought in, and now that trophy's there with you guys? Yeah,
it's amazing. And some of those girls, like if you look at like our 4, 5, 6, 7 girls, those girls all ran huge personal bests, huge personal lifetime, like upwards of a minute. And I think one thing we talked about going in is purpose. What is our purpose? And running for something bigger than yourself. If your purpose is for each other and for something bigger than yourself, your potential just rises, right? And everything that you can accomplish rises. And so, those girls, I think they went into that race, and they weren't just racing for themselves. They were racing for something bigger than themselves. They were racing for each other. And I think that allowed them to step up big and, run these huge PBs and place higher in the Summit League than they thought maybe was possible beforehand. And so it's a little bit of that you're running for each other magic.
All right, my final question for you, Coach, is when did it sink in that you guys had just accomplished that you guys have won this championship? I was pretty excited with going into the last K. So we get a 5K split. We were up by, I think, like 15 or 17 points. And so that's kind of when I realized, I was like, as long as we finish, and I'm standing probably 200 meters, 300 meters from the finish line, and I'm just finishing, yelling them to finish, and I'm watching them as they kind of go across the line. And but yeah, the moment really sank in is they interviewed me right after, and I ran back after the interview was over. I ran back over to the team, and they were all decked out in the championship hats and the championship shirts, and that's kind of when it sank in. I was like, we actually did it. Here we are, mission accomplished.
Obviously, you guys will forever be remembered as the champions, but what do you want to be remembered as beyond just that? What do you want this team to be remembered as from this year?
The start of a legacy. This group of women and the guys as well, this is the start of a legacy. And our goal is not to just win one championship. We're going to continue winning, and these girls started it, right? The culture, the atmosphere, the belief in each other, they're the ones that got it rocking and rolling. And so every single year that we win from here on out, we'll remember, we'll be like, this is the group of women that got it started. And so that's what I want them to be remembered for, is the ladies that not only in cross country, hopefully we can win in some other sports too, and this can be the group that kind of got everything going. So I'm excited about that.
Kind of backtracking, what was the emotions walking into that day ahead of everything happening? What was the emotions? Was there any nerves? Was there more excitement? Anything along those lines?
Anytime you enter a championship and you've got an opportunity to win, I think you're going to feel a little nervous. And we've talked about how being nervous is okay. It's part of the process. It's part of your body kind of getting ready for doing something difficult. And so there was a little bit of that, but I think more it was excitement about the opportunity to go out and accomplish something that we knew was possible. We knew that we had been working really hard for. So it was, I would say for myself, and hopefully for the girls and guys on the team, it was more excitement about just having the opportunity to go out there and see what they're made of and see who they are and find out what we can do. So